The detective didn't ask why we broke into the house. He asked me one question that I still can't answer. What made you stay after the first warning? I've replayed that night thousands of times. If we'd left when we found the first sign that someone was inside, all three of us would have walked home. Instead, I was the only one who came back. My name is Ben, and this happened 4 years ago. There was an old Victorian house at the end of our village. Everyone knew the owner left for nearly a month every summer. His neighbors collected his mail, his lights stayed off, and the place looked abandoned from the road. Teenagers had been sneaking inside for years. Nobody had ever been caught. Ryan said we should go. Jake thought it would be funny. I agreed because I was too embarrassed to admit I didn't like the idea. It had been raining since dusk when we climbed the rear wall just after midnight. The garden was silent except for rain dripping from branches and the distant sound of traffic. Our torch beams swept across broken flower pots and long grass before settling on the back door. It wasn't forced. It wasn't damaged. It simply opened. Inside, everything felt lived in. The hallway smelled faintly of coffee. The heating was on. The kitchen bin contained fresh packaging. Someone had washed dishes only hours earlier. Ryan frowned. The old man must have come home. Jake shook his head. My cousin works at the airport. He flew out yesterday. For a moment, nobody spoke. Then Ryan laughed. Probably the neighbor. We should have left. Instead, we kept walking. The house was unnervingly quiet. No television. No footsteps. No voices. Only the rain against the windows. In the dining room, I noticed 3 clean glasses arranged neatly on the table. Ryan joked that someone was expecting guests. None of us laughed. When we reached the hallway again, one thing had changed. Our muddy footprints were still there, but beside them was another set. Fresh, barely visible. Someone had walked across the hallway while we were exploring. None of us had heard a thing. Jake whispered, "We're not alone." Ryan shouted, "Who's there?" No answer. We decided to leave immediately. Ryan grabbed the back door handle. It was locked. The key was gone. While we searched for another exit, a calm voice drifted down from the darkness upstairs. "You stayed longer than I expected." The voice wasn't angry. Nobody answered. "You noticed the dishes." A pause. But not the footprints. Every hair on my arm stood up. Whoever he was, he'd been watching us the entire time. The lights came on one room at a time. First the kitchen, then the dining room, then the hallway. Standing halfway down the staircase was an ordinary-looking man wearing glasses and a gray jumper. No weapon, no mask. Nothing about him looked threatening. That somehow made him even more frightening. Ryan demanded the keys. The man calmly placed them on a table behind him. "You'll get them when you're ready to leave." Jake shouted that he was calling the police. The man nodded toward the hallway. "Your phones are where you left them." He was right. They were sitting neatly on a side table. None of us remembered putting them there. He looked at us for a few seconds before quietly saying, "You'd be surprised how predictable people become when they think nobody is watching." Then he walked back upstairs. He didn't chase us. He didn't threaten us. He simply disappeared. That was somehow worse. Ryan wanted to go after him. Jake refused. I remember saying something that still haunts me. "Let's just leave." Ryan ignored me and disappeared upstairs. Jake ran after him. I followed a few seconds later. The upstairs landing was empty. Room after room was empty. Yet every few minutes we heard another door close somewhere in the house. Always behind us, never in front of us. It felt as though someone was guiding us without ever being seen. Then I found a study. On one wall were shelves filled with identical black notebooks. Dozens of them. Every notebook had a date written on the spine. Nothing else. I opened one. Inside were observations written in neat handwriting. 2 adults entered through the kitchen. One searched drawers immediately. One remained near the exit. Left after 17 minutes. Another notebook. 4 teenagers. Argued within 6 minutes. Never noticed the second staircase. Left. Every notebook described a different group of intruders. Some entries ended with a single word. Left. Others ended with nothing at all. That was when I heard Ryan shouting. Then silence. Absolute silence. I searched every room I could find. Jake was gone too. I don't remember how I got outside. The police found me wandering along the road just before dawn. They searched the property for 2 days. The owner really was on holiday. The man wasn't related to him. Investigators later discovered he had once worked installing home security systems and had secretly copied keys to several properties over many years. He used empty holiday homes as places to hide. He knew curious people and opportunistic thieves would eventually let themselves in. He didn't need to lure anyone. Curiosity did that for him. They found the notebooks. They found spare keys. They found hidden observation points inside the walls. They never found the man. Ryan and Jake were located alive several hours later in different parts of the surrounding woodland, badly shaken and unable to explain how they had become separated. None of us ever gave identical accounts of what happened upstairs. Before I left the police station, the detective handed me one of the notebooks. It belonged to our group. The final page contained only one sentence. The ones who survive are always the ones who decide to leave first. I still think about that every time someone says a house looks empty, because sometimes the only person who knows it isn't is the one already inside.